Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and this evening I'm joined via audio with my good panelist, Miguda. Miguda, how are you doing?
I'm very good, my brother. How about you?
I'm doing well. I cannot complain. How is your Thursday?
My Thursday is very good. I'm managing as well. Only there are a lot of rains on this side of the country and cold.
Mhm. Okay, that's good because we know when we have rains, which means like we will have abundance of food, so we will be feeding ourselves well. We will be not, or we will not go angry. Yes,
Showers of blessings.
showers of blessings. I hope we hautoki lake. Unajua ukitoka lake utakuwa unasema shawash koso sawa of blessings.
I'm Sitoki Lake. Natoka Kenya.
I know, but lazima tusrab bwana. Okay, how are you doing anyway?
I'm very fine. Uh, the country is also fine. Only there are ups and downs in terms of politics. People are talking. Over in the transportation sector, like today, I was traveling from one eastern to another eastern. I found a fellow Kenyan who was telling me like the results from the Kibaki regime. You can see the result, and the economy was doing well.
Yeah.
Uhuru tried, but the current president is like not trying. So Kenyans are talking. Kenyans are conversing everywhere. Be it the people in the transportation,
Mhm.
in churches, marketplaces. People are just watching, and they are telling me,
Yeah.
"Let us wait for the outcome of the AUC
Yeah.
chairperson result." Most
Okay.
of people are waiting for that result. Then they will state how the citizenship will be.
But like some people are arguing that we should give president time. It's only 2 years. They still have like another three to come. We can do something and change the narrative that people are saying. Are you in agreement with
I'm in disagreement because they will still ask you time to give him time, even in 20, so that let us give him another term. So
that?
that they want to compare. That's how they will argue that. Let us give him another term so that we can see whether it can work or not.
Okay.
That's a very bad narrative.
Okay, but that is how we usually do our politics, and there will be a counter accusation that when I was doing this, somebody did this, and now I need to um, do this. Give me so and so, so I might provide or I might perform.
They will go further and say that let us give him 10 years because you are comparing with him with Kibaki, you are comparing him with Uhuru. Kibaki had his 10, Uhuru had his 10. Let us also give him his 10 so that we can compare him from his 10, not from his 5.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are arguments that will be there in the field of politics, but it will be um, the people who are going to vote to decide what kind of a leader do they want or what kind of a government or Kenya they want. So, there's something that has really happened today in Limuru, especially with the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. They were attending a funeral in Limuru, and as you know, the chaos erupted, and there were so damages were experienced. The chairs, the cars, some also escaped with injuries. And this was people are burying their loved ones, and somebody just decided to hire the goons to come and interrupt such like occasions whereby family are sending or they're paying their last respect to their loved one. It's not very new in Kenyan politics. We saw this even in Migori between Nochilayako and Mark Nyamita. It happened. We've seen them. It is not very something that is very new to us. We always experience such, especially when there's a political tension. What is your take on this, my brother?
My take on this is very simple. This
Yeah,
is not news in the country. It has been happening in the country. Most of the politicians have been doing their politics in funerals.
yeah,
Now, what I can say is that in Mount Kenya it might be news because Rigathi Gachagua has been accusing the people of ODM that they're in funerals, they're good in
mhm,
doing politics in funerals, but not doing politics on the platform. Now, it has
mhm,
come to a reality that it is the people of Mount Kenya also doing their politics in funerals. Like
yeah,
Rigathi Gachagua, is now doing his politics in the funerals. He used to accuse Raila that huyo mtu akindawili kazi yake ni kufanya siasa kwa matanga. How today Rigathi Gachagua is doing his politics in the funeral? It simply means that
Mhm.
once you are grounded and you are in opposition, you will find each and every place for you to make it relevant. Even be it funerals, be it marketplaces, be it church, you will go. What I would like to condemn with the highest terms possible in the terms of what happened at the funeral. The family was supposed to give their loved one befitting send off. In the burial, we don't expect African culture. That is one of the celebrations to celebrate. That from marriage, initiation, be it childbirth, even during burial, we celebrate the dead. So we do not expect the dead to be buried in a chaotic manner. That one we are condemning with the highest term possible. Politicians should see going to funerals to bring their own political differences. They should allow the members of the family to send their families, their beloved ones alone. The reason of politicians go to the funerals and trying to have chance or trying to square their differences in the platform, that is wrong. In African culture, like I've said, funerals were one of the celebrations and ceremonies which bring people together and they celebrate the departed one. The departed one was not being celebrated in a manner whereby there was chaotic, which we saw. That is where we part ways with Gachagua. But we are appealing with him. He has been accusing the people of doing their politics in the funerals. Now it has dawned on him that even him, he can find space in funerals because the government has also made sure that each and every platform for him to carry out politics has been blocked. Remember when he was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, he used to have platforms. He used to introduce president. Those platforms he used to articulate his policies and his politics of the day. After he was denied those platforms, he was denied those opportunity to address the Kenyans. He's now looking for alternative venues. Alternative venues are like those funerals. Alternative venues will be like a church. You saw him on the church the other day. But if he's in those alternative venues, he must also agree that in the ground where he was, there are those people who are allied to William Ruto. So when they see the presence of Rigathi Gachagua, Rigathi Gachagua has been tagged that he has gone to Mount Kenya kuchafua. Anybody
Mhm.
who is allied to William Ruto is going to poison the ground so that that person cannot be re-elected. What do you do as a leader? If you see Rigathi Gachagua presence in your constituency, you deal with him circumponiously, and that is what had happened today in that funeral.
So let me just ask you to clarify some issue that you've mentioned, because we are looking at the political violence, because that is violence as we see. Because even if you have disagreement or you are disagreeing with the views and the values of the Rigathi Gachagua, why would it be in the funeral? Because I think for me, I'm not supporting him, but I think like he went there because the sources say that he was invited, you know uh, as a member of the community to come and mourn with the bereaved. Yeah. And why would somebody just think that by hiring, because from the look of things, and if you're keen enough and see how or review those videos, is that this is what is there, and this we're getting from the ground. The area member of parliament was asked to sit in the VIP. This is now the information. And he insisted no, he wants to go and sit on the regular tent, and he wanted to sit with Wananchi, which is okay. Yeah. But now the question is, when the goons started to attack, the first tent that was attacked was the VIP tent. And this is where the Rigathi Gachagua was. And if you look at the massive destruction that happened, one, you would see that the people who were hired had intention, and their intention and their target was the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, based on where he was seated. You know, yeah, we might be having different views and different political affiliation and what, but now, if you feel that you don't agree with his kind of politics, why in the funeral? That is one. And the question is, why would the area member of parliament would not want to sit in the VIP tent. Then again, the VIP tent was attacked. Is this one kind of like raising suspicion, my friend?
The vicious attack on the deputy president, I can put it that it was plotted or it was choreographed by himself. Politicians can do anything for them to be relevant. And by saying that, the likes of politics of violence, vicious, those are the politics that have been tagged with ODM. They are with the branch of the politics of the ODM people. If you are seeing such politics happening in the Mount Kenya, that's a clear indication that the mount is erupting. And politically, the mountain is erupting because there are people who are vying for that Mount Kenyan kingpin. Like I've said, if the MP of that area, who was the host, was supposed to sit in the VIP positions, he decided to sit where people are regular. What if he was trying to imitate Rigathi Gachagua during the function which was at Embu, whereby Rigathi Gachagua, instead of going to the VIP, he decided to sit with the residents? So he was trying to tell the people that even me, I belong to the ground, I belong to the people, I don't belong to the VIP. By doing so, in his mind, he might have planned the goons to attack the VIP 10, so he was trying to excuse himself from the attack. Rigathi Gachagua, being a victim of that attack, he himself, we understand that he is impeached, he is a victim of circumstances currently. There even president attacked him when he was in Kisumu. He's a person who has been attacked, he has been attacked left, right, and center. And by him being attacked at the funeral, and you saw the way he was being uh, lifted out of that crowd, it's a clear indication that Rigathi Gachagua is gaining that sympathy card, is going to get it. That's why I've said, before we have done investigations and find out who actually
Yeah.
plotted this attack, you can maybe Rigathi Gachagua might have plotted to seek sympathy, or the area MP might have plotted to remove Rigathi Gachagua from his region, because Rigathi Gachagua currently is out to send William Ruto out of Mount Kenya completely. If that is the mission of Rigathi Gachagua, he's also going to meet opposition. It doesn't mean that in Mount Kenya there are no people who are pro Ruto. There are people who are pro Ruto, even if there are few people. They are not going to accept Rigathi Gachagua's movement. That's why whenever Rigathi Gachagua is going to meet those people, they are going to attack him. Additionally,
Yeah.
you have asked about why funerals. In my view, funerals, if you go to those villages locally,
Yeah.
that is where you can find already mobilized group, already mobilized population. They are coming there voluntarily. No one is paying them to come to funerals. No one is mobilizing them to come to funerals. People are coming in large number. And whenever they are there in large number, that is an opportunity for a politician to utilize, to send his message to the people, because there is no way where you are going to get that large crowd of people. Once you get them, you must use that time cleverly to make sure that you spread the gospel of your political views, vision to the people. Because at the end of the day, when people will going back homes, that will be the news of the day at in the village. That's why politicians usually try as much as possible to go to funerals and find that already mobilized crowd which have been mobilized freely, and they use that platform to make sure that they have spread their gospel to the people in the village.
Okay, thank you so much. If you're there on the comment section, you can also share with us your view on what happened to the former Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, when the goon attacked him when he was attending a funeral mass in Limuru, Gitonga. Thank you so much for joining. Umepotea sana, Judy. Thank you so much for joining. Mr. Makobura, how are you doing, sir?
Good evening. I'm doing good.
Yes.
Yeah, how are you doing?
We are doing fine here. We are just discussing about the political violence that we are experiencing, especially from the mountain where the former deputy president, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, was attending a funeral, and the goons attacked him. And from the look of things, the distractions from the chairs to the tent to the vehicles it's so much worrying, especially in a country. And in earlier conversation, when we started the conversation with my friend Miguda, we are saying that this is not something that is very new to us because we've always seen it. We gave an example, especially when it happened some times back, maybe around February last this year, I think in Migori, especially between the tussle between Honorable Mark Nyamita and Ochila Yako when there was a burial that was taking place. So, and um, I remember the people are sending, saying bye to their loved one, and such like happens, such like things happen. What is your take on it? Hello, Makobura.
Okay, sorry for that. The attack by the attack is not a good thing, especially when we've always said this. This is not the first time that we're seeing politicians trying to plan chaos, especially to their opponents or those politicians that they think they are not supporting. It is not a good thing. I think this looks like something which was well planned because if we look at the whole thing and how it happened, it was a calculated move because the impeached or former deputy president has been attending such kind of functions, and I think the functions which he keeps attending are sending some signals to the opponents, and they're finding it a little bit tough to manage that,
Yeah,
and that is what is making them to start countering. Because you know what happened the other time, if you can remember, when he went to a function in Muranga, that was seen as a threat to the president and people around him. So I think the close allies of the president are simply trying to counterattack his influence and him trying to dine and uh, converse with the people. So
okay.
my point is doing or planning such a thing or sending goons to the funerals. Funerals are very sensitive places that we should always be respecting. A mourning group, a group of people who are mourning their beloved ones. Because what we saw was not good,
Yeah.
and from where I sit, I really condemn that act. And we, the people of Kenya, we need to condemn acts where politicians are taking advantage in in a funeral where you should be empathizing with the people who have lost their relatives. You are sending goons to disrupt and to cause chaos. It is not a good thing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lincoln Kiplagat. Thank you so much for joining. Just let us know where you're watching us from and share with us what is your thought on the political violence that we are seeing. If we disagree on the views, or if we disagree on the kind of politics that we are doing, must we do it in the funeral? Must we? Because remember, when you come to the African traditional society, as my friend Miguda had mentioned earlier, these are rights. They're very important in our lives. The time when you're born, the time you get married, and the time you die when we are giving you send off. Because remember, at the time of giving send off, this is the last respect that you are giving to your loved one. And you'd wish to do it so peacefully. You would always wish to do it in a manner that even the the person that we are seeing for the last time, that we are giving him the last send off in a honorable way. But our politicians do not see it that way. When they get gathering like this, that's where they bring in their might in it. So what happened? And if I can just of some of the information that we are getting. Yeah. When you look at when Rigathi Gachagua arrived in the event, he was well received, no doubt about that. You know, and nobody would tell there was any kind of violence that would take place. But I watched a video, somebody was saying when the member of parliament decided not to sit on the VIP tent, it get them suspicious that why he did not sit on the VIP tent. And within a short period of time, the attack was done on the VIP tent. And now this has come to what we call the leadership. It doesn't matter what kind of area it has happened, but it begs the question, how is our politics done? It's not a politics of ideology. It's a politics of we win through violence. Miguda, what is your take on that? Hello, Miguda. Okay. Miguda will be joining us soon. So, Marco Bura, and I can read, I can go and read to you what the deputy president has said um, in his Facebook handle.
I think something else that I also wanted to add on that is that whether political on matters political, it is so unfair for the people of Kenya, to be seeing such characters. Politics is all about you know interest, and as much as it is all about interest and power, we should not actually take it to an extent where you're following someone like you want to kill them or you want to end their life, especially when someone is it is not a good thing. If someone has a different opinion, just find a way of accommodating them. It is good, it is normal for people to have different opinions.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what someone thinks, because we are in a democratic country, and the democracy in this country dictates very well that with people coming with different opinion, you can never find a group of people thinking in one direction. So if whatever we are seeing is about the difference in politics, then I think the people who are involved have gotten out of the course, and they should be reprimanded to come back to their senses and understand that power and politics should not go to an extent of killing or harming people. When
Okay.
I saw, when I looked at the vehicle of the former deputy president, it is that was something that was aiming. If suppose he was in that car,
And to me, I think they if they because they were hired, that is what I know, and their main aim was to target the deputy president. Because if you saw that vehicle, even there's a member of parliament, I don't know, his car is so much in worst condition. And this is what deputy president wrote in his Facebook handle. And I quote, as Kenyans are well aware, earlier this week, the government withdrew the final aspects of my security that was in place after the impeachment process we are contesting. However, we did not raise issue with this decision by government, although expectation that any Kenyan who has served as the level of government that I was privileged to serve at would be secured by the government even after leaving office. However, it's now looked like the decision to withdraw my security was to leave me exposed to the kind of attack we have witnessed. Today, I was at a funeral service in Limuru for a young man called Erastus Duati. While we were preparing to lay the young man to rest, goons attacked us and the other mourners who were present, including children. The gangsters were armed with stones, machetes, irons, bars, and sticks. They descended randomly on mourners present and attacked them using the weapons they had, as well as using the plastic chairs available. A specific group followed me as I went to my car, which they proceeded to attack with stones and iron bars. We literally drove out of the venue under hail of rocks. Yeah, this is what he wrote. This is very sad state affairs and a major law for the state who are clearly complicit in these actions. We just especially remember the family that had loved one in a casket who had to run to safety despite their profound grief. We will not be scared away from standing with the Kenyans who need us to support them in their moments of need. We just expect such terrible moments to shame will not be repeated. So that is what the deputy president
That
wrote.
that was a painful thing. From where I sit, I am still saying that I really condemn such acts. We should not be seeing such behaviors in this era.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to note something that politicians are not, whenever they find themselves in different sides, they always act in the same manner. These I was actually trying to follow that thing. I just saw a comment from someone over the social media saying that the pitch deputy president is simply getting what uh, he once did to someone. And I saw them posting some photos of some young men carrying ships. But what I'm trying to say is that we should not get to an extent of tuna mtu akikufanyia kitu mbaya, wewe pia unalipa na kitu mbaya. If we continue with this character, especially within the political class, we will not have a peaceful country. We have to have leaders who are forgiving. We have to have leaders who are not, who are able to forget the bad things that the people in leadership did to them. If we continue with this character where someone gets to power and then they want to do bad things that they were done to, these are the things which are messing the politics to the Republic of Kenya.
And
The
yeah,
issues,
yeah, the
the
issues.
issues of repaying bad with bad is not a good thing, and especially within politics. And that is what has made us as a country
Mm,
have the widening gap between the tribalism and also the widening gap. You find that when people are having a different opinion, the opposition side, and you have the government side and the opposition side, they're even ready to fight, fight which is not actually helpful, a fight that is unnecessary, a fight that can even lead to death, a fight that can lead to war. We need to come back to our senses. And
okay.
the funny thing is, the deputy, while he was in Limuru,
Mhm.
I think those are still his tribesmen.
Mm.
And the planners could be as well his tribesmen. For what reason would you kill your brother just because he has a different opinion?
Uh,
What benefit are you going to get from that?
okay, I'm taking you to the Twitter page, the X handle. There are so many that the Kenyans are saying here. Somebody is saying, unknown goons attack Rigathi Gachagua in burial in Rimuru. Unknown goons. Okia Omutata said, you wounded this man out of office like a dog. Now you are sending your goons to lynch him at funeral. I quote, that is the Twitter handle of uh, 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 Honorable Kio Mutata. So this is the Colenius K. Rono is replying on Senator Karugo wa Dhangwa. Ako na Mungu na watu wa mlima. This is what Senator Karugo wa Dhangwa said. It was
I think
assassinated.
that narrative of ako na Mungu na watu wa mlima is also not a good thing. We should not profile, especially people, to the character or to the level of the former deputy as someone wa Mlima, because he's ever served as the deputy president. And when such things happen, we should not try to leverage or try to have this mentality of trying to speak as if we are from a specific region, because such things actually rises the emotions of the people and can actually cause war between.
Okay, this is what Senator Karugo Wadhangwa wrote. It was an assassination attempt, but the people's deputy president is safe. Asanteni sana watu wa Limuru for ensuring our safety. We will not be intimidated or silent. Now we know. And I'm coming again to Ndiru Ndegwa. Ndegwa Njiru, this is an advocate who was with the deputy. Hamjamfanyia Rigathi vizuri kabisa. Let's stop traditional politics where we hire goons to disrupt someone's funeral and innocent Kenyans mourners. Kenya Kenya ujinga juu itaisha lini? And like these photos of the vehicles of the deputy president, Mkurieni MP Gashia vehicle vandalized by goons after chaos erupted. Yeah, I was looking for that. And it's when you go to the tweets, it's all about the deputy president. um uh and They say, I'm seeing somebody, DP is writing 15 minutes ago, the deputy Gachagua allies are camping at the DCI headquarters at Kiambu Road following what transpired today in Limuru. We will get those information. um and it's so sad. It is not only should be like we look at it, it happened to deputy president, the former deputy president. It can happen to any Kenyan who has a divergent view. With this age and era where we are, and where we say that Kenya is so much democratic, where we say we have a constitution of 2010 that has given people the freedom, yeah, why can't we compete on ideas? Why can't we, as a member of parliament, if indeed somebody decided to go to his bank and withdraw this money and give this young man the money, why can't you employ them? Why can't you employ them? Just employ them, give them work. Why should you hire them only for one day? Now, okay,
And
it has happened.
that is now the question. And I think also the politicians have played a good game to an extent that they've managed, to get opportunity to hire very young men to do such kind of things. And the main painful bit, that just as you have explained, is how stupid are you that you're being hired or given 1,000 today to go kill someone or to go harm someone who has been in state power, someone who has been making decisions, someone who is coming from your region, like just because he has a different opinion,
Yeah,
what benefit do you get? I think these are primitive acts and backwardness that as a people
yeah.
we need to stand firm and
Mm.
try. If I think investigation should be done, and anyone who participated, they should actually be banned from going for any position in the Republic of Kenya.
We s-
That way, we can be able to sort and to solve the issues of people with ill and with bad intentions within the country. We, as a people, we've come from far. We've seen people fighting because of politics in 2007, 2008. So many people were displaced. So many people were killed. So many people were butchered. So many people were paralyzed. And these are things that we've seen. Come to 2017, we saw this. We saw this in 2022. Why are we taking politics too deep? Why are we not forgetting that we have a country to take care of? Why are we widening the gap between the political class and their opponents? Why are we widening the gap between tribes and tribes? It is not a good thing from where I sit. And I have this opinion that this is a case that should be investigated, and anyone who will be found culpable of having gotten himself into such acts should be punished, a punishment that would get them out of not
okay,
vying for position in public.
okay, thank you so much. And I will bring. Oh, Ayaga is here. I was just going to 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 think of this. Like you are a father, yeah. You are a father. You are a husband. You are an uncle. You are who you are. These people have lost their loved one. Yeah, I know you might be having political difference with all of you. That is something that we don't look at here. We want to focus so much on the family. These people might be going through a lot. Yeah, and now what happens? You sit somewhere in your own mind, good senses. You've gone to school, whoever you are, and you say the best thing that we can do to this family, or the best thing that we can do, is to bring disruption. Now you've disrupted everything. Everything has happened the way it is happening. How? What is the end game now? Do you celebrate what has happened? And what does it benefit you with? Anyway, Ayaga, how are you doing? Right. Okay.
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
We are doing good. We are just discussing about what just happened a few hours ago to the former deputy president, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, especially during the funeral where they were at Limuru, uh, where the goons attacked and disrupted the funeral proceedings. What do you say, my friend?
Those are not goons. Those are just. I don't think if those are goons, huh? Those are well calculated machineries. Those are the people you can call machineries because look at the way a goon is just somebody who is throwing the stone and those vehicles
Yeah,
are bulletproof.
yeah,
So you can't tell me that by a bare hand or a knife you tear the windows and do the damage that I've seen. But I think that's politics. It has begun because there is a fear. I told you there. It is yesterday. Niliwaambia the high chances of Ruto losing is very high. There is no government or any candidate has gone against the gamer and become the president of Kenya. Moi
mm,
used to do divide and rule. I had my brother saying that Moi ruled for 24 years minus a gamer vote. That is a pure lie. Moi used to do a divide and rule. Moi used to go with Mount Kenya East, what Ruto was trying the other day, and
yeah,
it is not working for him. So I think this is good and bad at the same time. It's good because you are creating an animal that you will not control in the future, and it is bad for the people who have lost their loved ones, wale ambao wamefiwa, alafu we unaenda unaleta vurugu zako na siasa pale. Because if you look at that thing, the attack was from the back of the tent. At the back of the tent, huwezi sema Rigiji aliweka watu nyuma ya tent yake attack from the back. Back attack inamaanisha ni watu wametoka mahali, they were
mhm,
positioned, and when the number imefika mahali walikuwa wanataka, and then the surprise attack was made. I think the fear is that what regard the message, regard the want to say. I think that is the only fear. There is nothing else you can say at imefanyika. What the government is afraid of is the facts. Rigji was removed when they told us he was sabotaging the boss. He was subordinating
yeah,
the boss. He was sabotaging the government project or blah blah blah. Number one of those projects was Adani. Look at where he have left Raila Odinga and ODM. They are looking like fools. They are supporting things they don't know, they don't understand. And this was a deputy president who was telling them, my friend, I can't defend this thing because it is shoddy, it is shady. Nobody knows it. It is only a few crooks. Now you have cancelled it. What are the repercussions? Kwa sababu there are some private partner, whatever, that if you sign the deal, if you cancel the deal, you pay them back. Nobody is explaining for us. Yeah. And also, who was bribed, because Adani is now known worldwide. For him to win a tender or to have a tender in a certain country, he must bribe two or three people. Why can't they now publish for so and so and so and so went to India, brought Adani here, how much they were given, and ABCD? I think the government that fears criticism is a government in panic, because by next year the time of development will be lapping for the president. If he start the development next year, itaonekana kama ni campaign strategy,
mhm,
but haitakuwa yake ya kufanya kazi. Anything he does, even the Kabonyo Kanyagwal that he launched in Kisumu, I heard him talk about it the other day, is still planning, which means next year by June, those are now the campaign projects, but not development. This government will be defeated if they choose to rig themselves, so be it. And why is the president fear appointing the IBC? Because number one, when the IBC is in place, there are some by-election that will be carried, and those by-election will give you the real indication in the ground. We are telling them the ground is bad for this man, and people think it is a joke. I hope so, that at least they can just have an IBC, do 2 3, and let's try one in Nyanza, do one in Nairobi, and try another one maybe in Mombasa, so that when the government candidate is beaten, is when they will realize that what we have been singing all along, the ground is bad, and such things is just to add a salt in a wound.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. If it is politics, and we know now, Rigathi Gachagua has his own brand of politics, is trying to chant his ways. Why can't you just leave the man, rather than or wait him on the field, rather than bringing it, or people bringing the violence at a place whereby the loved one is being sent off?
There's no way they can leave the Rigathi Gachagua to go on his own way because they understand the man they have created. William Ruto have created a political giant in Mount Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua is not an ordinary politician as we speak today. Rigathi Gachagua can pull a surprise, either participating directly or behind the scene. He's a man to watch in Mount Kenya. These guys knows each other, and they know Rigathi Gachagua very well. The kind of a politician he is. He is resilient, he's a hardworking politician, and he understands power. He knows what power is. He can even use his own wealth the way he used to make William Ruto president, as he used to say, not me. They know very well the kind of man they are dealing with. So there's no room they can allow him to move across Mount Kenya freely, enjoying that support base of Mount Kenya without any interference that they have impeached him. The fact that they have impeached him doesn't mean that they are done with him. It is not yet done. It is not yet over. It will only be over when it will be over. For now, it is not over for William Ruto. You heard him yesterday, but one talking about Rigathi Gachagua when he was in Kisumu Kondele. That is a clear indication that it is not over for Rigathi Gachagua.
Okay, check your internet. And Ayaga, there's so many. When you go to the tweets, the Twitter handle is banning. Huku kwa Twitter mambo imechemka. Yeah, it is, and this is what again, what the deputy president said through the nation. Said, those hired goons were after me. The huge rock, the window of my car was aimed at me. I was lucky I was not hit. And that is what the deputy president is saying. And if you go to the X handle right now, is the Rigathi is trending at let me check. The Rigathi is trending at #1, so which means it's a topic of concern. It's trending at #1 at the X space. Yes, Rigathi in the politics of Kenya. When you go to the X space, Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, is trending, and there's so many Kenyans are airing their views. There are those who are just bringing for us the aftermath of what happened and before, and on how on his way to the place, how he was received. There are also quite a number of people who are condemning this was Limuru. Some people are just asking about the Limuru member of parliament, Honorable Chege John Kiragu, MP for Limuru, whether he was behind that. That's the question that we are not saying so. Those are just questions that the people are asking on X, and there's so many, the cars, the pictures, and all that. Makobura, before I bring you in, let me bring Ayaga. Ayaga, yesterday you had actually speaking of the time limit of the presidency should be done away with. What does he mean by that? Does he believe in the constitution of this country, or maybe he doesn't live in this that we are living?
Okay, thank you for that beautiful question. Atuoli's mind is not with us.
Yeah.
Atuoli's mind is not with us in Kenya. And the same Atuoli, he told us that Uhuru Kenyatta is too young to retire. You remember?
Yeah.
Actually, always don't want to bring he never want to speak about the term limit, because something that affects you, you don't support it. You know, people always ask him, Atwoli, when will you retire? So I think that by myself and by my own opinion, Atwoli is not the right person to discuss that. In his mind, even with him, Uhuru Kenyatta ought to have been the president. Uhuru was still young, and Uhuru need not to be at home. So him with that question, I don't think he will never give any negative, any positive, as I will always be negative about it than because Obama was young. People have been retiring as young people. He has stuck there, telling you, giving you silly nonsense question. But I think that said and done. Uh, Actually, be careful with anything that actually attacks.
Yeah.
Actually has been used before as agent. I'm telling you, I was in ODM. I deeply involved in Azimio Siasa. Actually is an agent of, I don't know, the state or the outsider. Be very careful with what actually attacks.
Yeah.
If a combination of Misali of Kalonzo Musyoka and Riggy and Riggy supported Kalonzo Musyoka, and him not running or
Uh-huh.
even demanding a running mate, is a
Mhm.
very little for William Ruto, because Kalonzo Musyoka stand with Raila Odinga. He's in many people's heart in Luonyans, and that
Mhm.
is the silent supporters. They are
Yeah.
saying if Ruto is here and Kalonzo is here, they will vote for Kalonzo without
Mhm.
even being persuaded. Even if they want to go out and vote, they will
Yeah.
vote one person, Kalonzo Musyoka. So it is very tricky for the president. It is hard for him. And I think whoever is doing those things that I saw in Limuru
Yeah.
is not doing them in the favor of the president, is doing it in the advantage of the president, because nobody will be arrested. And when nobody is arrested, they have given another Rigiji another platform to do politics. You
Mhm.
remember the Lamada meeting,
Yeah.
where there was a discussion that Ruto want to be assassinated.
Yeah.
And now you have seen the Rigiji statement. They were after me. They are planning to assassinate me. So that's another good topic for December for Rigiji free ride that they have given him.
And you know, one thing that usually happens in politics is that if something happens like that, they find a way of coiling it so that it resonates with the public, you know. And even if a investigation can be done and maybe somebody found culpable, you know, you will find it that people will not agree or listen or say that consume that investigation. Now, Marco Bura, let me just engage you because the deputy president, former deputy president, has mentioned about his security. You know, the security was withdrawn. Is it that time now the government should reconsider and reinstate some of his security based on the portfolio or the ranking of office he has held in this country?
Mm, Rigathi Gachagua was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. As much as he was impeached, he's entitled to security because the office that he's held is a very respected office, and he has a right to be protected by the state. Uh, I think the move by the government to withdraw the security was not a good one, but these are things that we've seen. It is not the first time. Ruto, while he was serving as the deputy president, he went through the same.
Mhm.
Uh, even the likes of Kalonzo, the former vice president, Raila Odinga, the former premier,
Yeah.
sometimes when they go against the policies of the government, they are always being threatened by, their security being withdrawn. But again, we've always seen that whenever the security is withdrawn, we have to see such kind of things. If you remember, when when Ruto was the deputy, he said that his security was withdrawn, and then after some times we saw such kind of things, him being heckled,
Mhm.
being attacked, and I think this it's like a circle of you know, behavior or characters that are there with the politicians.
Yeah.
It is not a good thing. You know, we should play clean, clear politics. If we
Yeah.
continue with this politics of betrayal, politics of fights, politics of following up on the life of others, politics of killing, it's not a good thing to people who want to get into politics, because you know, young people who are getting into politics, and this is the reason why as a country we are having so many abductions, because the people in their mind are seeing this as a normal thing. This is why you're seeing young men, young ladies being killed, because the society has it that even with the position that you have, you can still be followed, you can still be stoned, you know, just because of having a different opinion. That is why we are seeing so many people getting into deals, and when deals have gone sour,
Yeah.
you know, we see people being killed.
Okay.
The politicians and the leaders of the Republic of Kenya, they need to show the young people a good way. Showing a good way by acting and doing things in an upright manner, in a mature manner. There's no way the president would allow such a thing to happen in a country where there are police officers. You know, the deputy president, I'm quite sure that when they were going for this, you know, funeral, there were police officers there
Yeah.
because members of parliament were there. Whenever members of parliament are going to a place, of course, it's obvious the police officers are supposed to be there. But again, we have got the NIS and all these things. We've got the DCIs. You know, such things cannot happen without the knowledge of the security department. So we just need to be clear and say that the government knows what is happening and they have given a blessing to it. And the question we should be asking ourselves is it the right time? Is it a good thing to do? The answer, of course, is it is not right, because the repercussions and what it shows to the people of Kenya and the citizen is not a good picture.
Okay. Let me also now let's come to the real issues. Maybe not even like to blame the government or what, because like we are still waiting to hear from um, the acting in capacity, Musalia Mudavadi, the secretary for the internal security. Maybe he might release a press to give the update, or the IG or anybody who is in charge of the security. But now, to a point where now we are just coming about to the leadership itself. Somebody who is a leader, that you know you're a leader, you're leading people, you've been given that mandate. And at some point, Mr. Yaga, you just decide that, okay, the best thing that I would do is the little money that I have, I can go and give these young people to do this for me. Yeah. And it is not something that started with this administration. It is the way the politics has always been played, in which if you want to um, kind of like show the mighty to your opponent, or somebody that you feel is not selling your ideology, you don't share with them the same ideology. Why should we resort to violence instead of competing on ideologies, on ideas, and on values? Ayaga, why are we resorting to violence each and every time when it comes to politics?
Yeah, you know, the difference is only that we have seen violence in politics and during campaign. That is part of politics, and
Yeah.
all of us accept that. But the problem is when the violence is initiated by the government. That's where now the problem is. Now that's where the big problem, and I think that is what we should discuss. Yes, for politicians between candidates and whatever, yes. Nobody was campaigning in Limuru. There is no vacant seat in Limuru.
Yeah.
There was no by election in Limuru. This was just a human being who was impeached the other day,
Yeah.
went to attend a funeral of an innocent man. I don't think if that guy was politician, even if he was a politician, the involvement of him, the dead, in politics or his family, I think it is very minimal, not that national. So the government started things, and when that thing runs out of hand, they say it is not them. It is this government that started the kidnapping. It is the other day when the kidnapping has become rampant, they run away from it. There is a game you don't start at a government, it will come to consume you. Orengo told them, revolution eats its own people, revolution eats its own children. When the government started initiating violence, because if you look at that thing, I started watching it at around 10, and the violence come at the tail part of it around afternoon, when now the politicians were talking. So which means those people have welcomed him. He has been there for more than 4 5 hours. So you can't say there was anything. And then those people came from nowhere, then attack the tent from the behind. So I don't, those were not even the audience in the first place. So I think what we need to discuss and what we need to do and to say as a country, why we have a government that initiate a violence against its people and tend. I don't think if Musalia Mudavadi will issue the statement, because that is huge. This is a former deputy president. You can't take those like 4 5 hours is when you issue a statement. When that thing happens, there is a coordination in the government. We have not seen even the police commandant in that area giving a statement. That tells you what obvious is the answer. Benson.
But I hope we still I do still insist, maybe the relevant authorities are still combing the issues, and maybe by the time they will be coming to give the presser, especially this is something, as you said, it's very huge, because this is a former deputy president.
Brother Ben, do you know what the position of the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya mean?
Yeah, I know what it means, and that's why I'm telling you. And you,
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but again, we should, this is the most immediate deputy president of the Republic of Kenya.
Mhm.
And if we were in a serious country, a country that protects and cares about their leaders,
yeah,
then we would have seen it somewhere as a breaking news that, you know what, this and this has been going this way, and this is what we are doing. The hours that has gone tells you that this is something that the people in power are well aware of, and that they're taking time so that they can see and read the moods of the people and do what we call a counter to see how they will counter the feelings and the moods of the people. Truth be told, uh, Gachagua as an impeached deputy president, we need to remember the fact that the position that he held was a national position, and we should also remember the fact that he's the most immediate, and again, he's still having cases in court, of which, anything, there are so many things which can still happen. He can still come back with other ways, maybe not to that position, but he can still get some justice, which can still turn the thinking and the politics of the country. So we need to protect, the government needs to protect him, and he has a right to be
yeah,
protected by the government,
Mhm.
because, you know, first, just based on the impeachment and everything, the way it was done,
yeah,
his life, needs to be protected by the government. But again, we also, the people in security docket, they need to do an investigation, and I think the member of parliament of that constituency, the security apparatus of this constituency should be called
yeah,
to give a statement, because there's no way anything can happen in your constituency.
Mhm.
You are the member of parliament having it's a fact that he's been on the side of the president, and remember, the former deputy is having a different opinion with the president.
Mhm.
But again, the security apparatus in that constituency, they need to come clear
yeah,
and, give the right details to the people of Kenya, because, these are things that should not be taken lightly. Gachagua has supporters. We are in a nation. The people in leadership need to confirm to the people that the lives of the people of Kenya, the lives of the leaders,
Mhm.
whether those in opposition or in government, they need to be protected. And it is not something that should be begged. It is their right. They've served in those positions and they need to be given good security.
Okay, thank you so much. Ayaga, before we wind up, I just want to get your view, especially you mentioned something about Kabonyo Kanyagwal, where the president said next month, which is a few days ago, a few days to come, 800 million will be put into Kabonyo Kanyagwal. What is your take?
It is good. It is good for the people of is it Kisumu East and Nyando constituency. It's bordering those two constituency, but I think the project is in Nyando.
Yeah,
It is good for them. It is good for them, but the president is a man that nobody takes his word serious. Now that is the problem. And I once there is a time I told you people, William Ruto is not a kind of a guy who rule peacefully in a peaceful serene. He must create an enemy. And when I was asked why, I told you the moment the Raila Odinga becomes silent, and Uhuru Kenyatta that they were forcing to talk also went silent. That's why William Ruto make a lot of mistakes, and that's why the Gen Z, the people of Kenya, the young people, went astray and teach him a lesson. So when Rigathi is out there talking, you see the president went to Kisumu and he was very vigor and he talked in powerful and having an opponent. He must create an opponent. A silent is bad for godly, and even the devil himself fears the silent. So I think he has created an enemy, and now he will be going to places like Nyanza, Western Coast to try to fool people. But somebody once said that you can't fool people sometimes, but not always. I think it is a cornered man, the church that he used to go, because I heard him in Kisumu also calling them AIPCA, a tribal church. That is the church that welcome him. That is the church that they start preaching everything about him. He should not even blame that church. Now, because the Rigi's, the shoe is on the other leg, Rigiji is going and is welcome in that church. I think that is the same church that Kindiki gave 5 million the other week. He's calling that church a tribal church. I think he has just lost the narrative. The Asla narrative is gone. The bottom up narrative is gone. The church factor is gone, and the faith towards Kenya is gone. And I think in Nyanza, where he's trying, when the team will be enrolled next year, we are also waiting for them in 2025, as well as the Central Kenya are waiting for them. We will talk to our people in the first language and the language they understand better.
Yaani wewe unataka kuniambia sasa TB mikienroliwa unawacha ODM bwana?
Yes, because you can't follow the people who they don't know what they want. The main function of forming a party is to form a government, not to join governments through handshake, through Nutsumukate, through broad base. Even in 2027, we will be told something unique. Now, better we form for them. We help them form one so that we welcome them. The majority, half of the community welcome them. Not that few who goes there, eat, and then they are coming to Tapeka. Look at what Ucho is doing now. Dancing with alcohol everywhere. That is how the ODM surely, sometimes we need to be serious.
I need to engage you. We are coming up with a second show that is coming around 10 with me, Marco Bura and Barak about how will the AUC outcome affect the broad-based government. I think if Baba wins. What about if Baba doesn't win? And
okay, I for now let me watch news. I will be with you at 10. Niko 2 area. We need to link.
Okay, Kawakawa, I will appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining. And to one dem 99 says Mount Kenya women have prayed and told Gachagua to accept to be a sacrificial lamb. Ask people from Mount Kenya what that means. I will do that, my friend. And this is just something that I would want to request to our leaders. I know you might be having political differences, but that one should not guarantee the chaos. You know, even the people that the young men or the young youths who involve themselves in the violence, that will not cure, or that one will not solve the issues that many people are going through. You know, most of the dissatisfaction, if you're not satisfied with what member of parliament is not doing, you are not satisfied with his uh, policies, the kind of politics that he does, the kind of leadership he's offering in your country, the kind of leadership or he's offering those words. If you're not happy with what the president, the kind of leadership that he's doing, is not making you happy, there's one way in which you can solve that: to the ballot. That's where every answer lies. The answer does not lie with the violence, or the answer does not lie with hiring you to create such mess in a funeral. That one is not going to give you the answer. You know, yeah. That one does not give you the answer for good leadership. You might do that. Now, the families, so much chaos have happened and all that. They have buried their loved ones in a very painful way. Wewe mwenye ulienda ukafanya hicho kitendo, imekusaidia nini? Imekusaidia nini? Maisha yako imebadilika? Labda kama ulikuwa na pesa kidogo ambayo ulikuwa umepatiwa, imebadilisha maisha yako. So kuna vitu ambazo labda tukifanya hazibadilishi maisha, ama hazileti kiongozi ama viongozi bora. Sasa kuna vitu ambazo saa zingine inafaa sisi tuangalie kama wananchi, tuseme kwamba haileti faida. Vita haijawahi leta faida kwa nchi yoyote. Tunaweza tafutiana kisiasa, kimawazo, lakini tukiendeleza kivita ama kigasia, tukionyesha ubabe, tuseme kwamba labda we ni mbabe katika gasia, itasaidia nchi na nini? So inafaa sisi turudi nyuma, tuangalie ni jinsi gani ambazo sisi kama Wakenya tunaweza endeleza Kenya ikuwe nchi mzuri ambao kila mtu anakubalika, hata akiwa na mawazo tofauti na wewe, ama kuwe lakini kile ambacho kinabaki ni kwamba bado tunabaki Wakenya na tunapendana, tusikuwe na ghasia. Makobura, hiyo ndio mambo yangu. Wewe kuna lipi la kusema?
I agree with you that at this point we should not talk about tribe. At this point we should just look at our country and see a way that we can help our country grow, we can help our country prosper. We should not talk about people. We should not actually, we should, it's not wrong to criticize people having different opinion, but it is not right to attack them, to go for their life, to try harm them.
Yeah.
Because even if you've harmed them, who then, is it that you want to harm them so that you have no one to say, to have a different opinion with yours? It doesn't make sense. If you're a leader, you must have people having a different opinion, and a good leader is that person who accepts, and also empower people having a different ideology, because you cannot run a country, you cannot be a leader if you don't have people criticizing you. And if someone criticizes you, you should not go to an extent of trying to harm them or trying to make them not continue having a different opinion. That is my take. But again, I'm still saying that we should not talk about tribe. We should look at the bigger picture. We should look at our country, and we should not give people opportunities just because they're coming from our tribes or they are the majority. Let us get out of this, because if we continue with this, then we are not going to end anywhere. We are not going to, get to where we should get to. We've seen two tribes in the Republic of Kenya getting helm of the leadership of the Republic of Kenya. When they're going for this, sometimes they are the best friends, but then when they get there, they start having different opinion. They want to punish each other, which is the problem that you're having. Let us stop the tribalism bit. Let us see leaders as let us analyze leaders with their characters and what they are able to do. Let us not analyze them with where they're coming from, the region where they're coming from, the votes that they're bringing on table. Because if we continue with that trajectory, we are not going to help this country. But instead, we will always get to points where we are fighting one another, telling one another out. Remember, the blood that we have, we are all Africans in Kenya here. The blood, we have the same blood. The blood has the same color. Let us not, let us respect that color of the blood. It does not define that this is a Kamba, this is a Luo, this is a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin.
Yeah.
The blood is the color is universal. Let us just respect that, and let us love one another. Let us not fight based on political stance of different people.
Okay, thank you so much. And Dem 1999, thank you so much for engaging us on the comment section. I hope you will enjoy your evening or your day, depending from where you are or where you're watching us from. As I told you earlier, we have a second debate that is coming in at around 10, where we will be discussing the effects of the AUC outcome, whether the Baba will win, Baba will lose. What does it have on the broad-based government and also the leadership of the country? Thank you so much, and may God bless you, and may God bless you all. Thank you so much. I would then again say, Dem 99, thank you so much for being with us since we started the show, and now we are ending. Thank you so much. May God bless you. I hope we are meeting at 10.